All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Cosmically Powerful Blerd. Again, this is J-Wall.
I'm Kilowatt.
And I think last time we talked about Black Panther and the crew, and we've been talking about black heroes through that. And I forgot to give a shout out to Blerd. I know the new movie's coming up. It's one of the first movies that came out. I think people kind of forget that he is in that arc of that universe. So shout out to Blerd. We'll see who replaces Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
The movie that saved the MCU.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happened to us. So now we're going to get to, if you watch the first season, there was a lot of verses, and I know, so we're going to get to one. There's a lot of them out there. One of my favorite ones is Dark Side versus somebody like Thanos. Who would win? But that's for another day. But today we'll talk about Blue Marvel and Icon. And I know if you search YouTube or pretty much anything, you'll get various opinions. So I'm gonna go with Blue Marvel. We talked to Blue Marvel's ability, his strength, his healing, his ability to manipulate molecules and stuff like. Icon is cool, but I read and I agree with this sentiment that he's pretty stagnant. He landed here in 1839. So happened to land in Africa.
Yeah.
So happened to. And then had the ability to take on the first person he's seen, and that's who he's.
A black woman acted like, became her child, and then developed himself into becoming this more corporate person who appears to be black, but is often seen as a person who is more corporate and more, I would say, black culture adjacent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since it's our show, I was gonna liken him to maybe like a Clarence Thomas
or an Uncle Tom.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas of comic books, some people may agree, some people may disagree. I don't know.
When you look at the context of the character, living through the civil rights, living through Reconstruction, living through the Civil War. And looking like this and doing nothing about it, with all of the alien capabilities to do so. Yeah, we're gonna say what we would call him DC's Uncle Tom.
And as far as if you just want to go off of attributes, he is as strong as. He's comparable to someone like Superman. Mm-hmm. He does have he doesn't have an intellect. I wouldn't call him a brainiac or a Lex Luthor or anything like that.
I wouldn't either. But I would also, I think it's a fair point to say, I know of another alien that landed that took on the availability of its surroundings coming from farmland, Kansas, and then espousing and providing American values all over the world.
Yeah, Clark.
And to see another alien come in early and see all the atrocities that happened to the first person and do nothing about it, other than addressing issues, but not addressing issues on a scale in which in representation of those who you look like.
Yeah. And so I think we're in agreement. Blue Marvel will win.
Blue Marvel.
Win. And to us, he's a better character.
I mean, he's just a better person.
Yeah,
so that might lean towards my bias a little bit. I mean, and
probably so. Yeah.
And a lot of you will probably even say, like, you were talking about Icon and Icon's ability to address Blue Marvel's ability to address molecules. But I mean, we're talking about who would win in a battle, who's the best person. Who would more likely be invited to the cookout? you get asked those questions.
Hey, don't bite that motherfucker Icon. Fuck Icon coming over here.
But I think it talks to the aspect of how, in all honesty, I choose Blue Marvel because he has something more to fight for and fights more passionately. And usually that's how this comic book thing really works, is that, the person who has the most to lose or most to fight for is usually the one who wins, regardless of the circumstances or even the super ability.
Yeah, you gotta have heart, you gotta have passion.
Because he wins in heart for me.
Yeah, you gotta fight for something. And then, they tried to refresh Icon, through Milestone, and then the death of Darkseid and the new Kryptonians and all of these things, but in the end, like, pound for pound, he'd lose. And then morals and values of character, he also loses. So he just loses all the way around the board. And I'm not saying he's not a powerful character. And then, this ideology that these characters have been in the DC universe all of this time. That's for another episode. And so, it just seems as if, Icon just struggles in way too many capacities to compete with. So, it just doesn't, like, a lot of categories. If you listed them out, he just continues to fall short. And I don't know if we had to place blame on that. Again, we spoke last time about this DC's ability to, storytell. Maybe that has something to do with Icon and Milestone is cool. They brought us, stuff like Static Shock, which
it's good.
Yeah, I like.
But I see, like, and this is not me. This debate, this versus would have me often question the diversity of the writing room. Like just off top, even with Static Shock and Milestone and those things coming in, like, what I see is like, but like, when I start to see those characters actually kind of manifest themselves on paper or on the screen, it's like, I added a couple more people in there. It makes me almost want to go, look, who wrote this? And then take a look at that. I think that the conversation we were having was more about, what if, DC's animation and and their studio writers just switch places.
Right.
Because they be writing some wonderful animation. And I haven't really seen even Icon through animation.
Well, through what they put out in them in Milestone Comics, I have not seen him to give
that, because that's where most of the contextualization of these characters actually come out. So just based off of what I've seen, it's gonna be Blue Marvel. It's gonna be Blue Marvel.
And then the epitome of putting two black heroes together to fight and see who will win. Like,
warrior competition. But but we have to keep in mind that one of them plays one. One is one in real life.
Yeah. Icon Clarence Thomas. Yeah. And so, if you want to know more about Icon or Blue Marvel, you can go ahead and search online. Again, there's battles, and then there's the one that's with the arena. Then there's a part 2, and this has been debated, but I think everybody agrees. People come out with the same outcome. It's pretty much like who's the most powerful in either Marvel or DC. Pretty much everybody says it's the same character. So, you know, I don't know how much of a debate it is, but you may disagree. So if you disagree with any of this, and it doesn't have to be like pound for pound, if we took all the morals and values and flawed characteristics of the person out, like Blue Marble would still win pound for pound.
We're not doing sports betting.
Yeah. And if you disagree, man, leave a comment if you feel there's something about Icon that would have given him the edge besides his personality, his conservative views, points. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. This episode, of course, it'll be a lot shorter because this wasn't much of a
really debate for us.
Yeah, this wasn't really much of a debate. I think I don't know who honestly would debate it. If you feel differently, though, you can always express yourselves and express your views like Icon does. We're here to listen. We're here to listen. We're here to listen to you. And since we brought up conservative values and things like that, our next topic was posed a question about the X-Men and civil rights, but we'll dig a little bit deeper into that